Hi, this is Hart, and I just decided to make these Christmas card kits live. And so, I know, I'm goofy going live sometimes. I should have given you a warning. Okay, so I turned the volume down. So what I bought at Tuesday morning was these vintage Christmas papers, which are fabulous. And I bought 4 because that's all they had that matched. And I bought a bunch of these sets, which I thought, you know, when you see people do the baseball card sleeves and I forget what pocket letters, they make the pocket letters. Hi, Kieran. So what I was thinking is these are the perfect sizes for Christmas cards. And so if I make these kits, and let me just open one pack because I'll do an example. But if I make these kits for Christmas cards way in advance, I'll be all prepared to mail out a bunch of them in July, you know, the Christmas in July idea. And that way it gives people lots of time. Ooh, I can really use this cardboard too. Look at that, that's good stuff. Kieran, can you hear me okay? Let me see if I can do one example. Oh, it is hard to see it though. So this is a 4x6, another 4x6, and another 4x6. So there's 4 4x6s and 4, is that 2x3s? Oh, 4. 3x4s. So, and 4 3x4s. It's probably easier if I show you up close. Okay, thanks, Karen. It's probably easier if I show you up close what that looks like, but you can see the 4x6s and the 3x4s. And my brain went straight to, wow, I can totally use this cutesy little thing to make the kits. That way when they open up their kits, and I hope it'll fold okay, we'll see. We'll test it as an example together. Maybe I fold it like this. One down, one up. Once it's all filled, it might be easier, it might be more difficult, I don't know. But we'll figure it out. And then if I can put it into a small envelope like that, that'd be good. Or at the minimum, it'll be easy to store the kits upright. All right, enough about that. Hi, Aunt Beck, how are you doing? Well, that's okay. I do that all the time in live streams where I pop in and out. And you could tell this is why it was at Tuesday morning. Look, on the back side of the Christmas cover, it has Halloween-y stuff. So in these kits, I also got a bunch of these boxed cards. If I can open them. Let's pretend I'm not using my good scissors for this, but they're right next to where I am. Oh, the idea of using it on glue too. How are you guys doing today? Okay, so I think these colors, oh look at that, that's even mixed in. So I think these colors will be nice with the Christmas, and I'll just sort out the ones I'm going to cut to 4x6s, and then they can choose which side they want to use. And then at Tuesday morning I also picked up these in 2 different sizes. So there's the 1/2 inch ones, that's another 1/2 inch. Oh, here it is. And they have They have the 1/2-inch ones that are flat and the 1/2-inch ones that are raised, and 150 in the raised ones and 300 in the flat ones. That'll allow me to put and try to make this pretty flat. And if it's not flat, I'll put a glue stick in there instead of those and save those for smaller card kits. But then each person in their card kit will get 4 different card types. Maybe I can make it 8 different card types because I think that's what I have in here. 40 cards. Nope, there's 10. And then make them coordinating. All right, enough talking. Let's just get to doing. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you? Do you guys think it's a little bit early to be thinking about Christmas cards? Are they a little goofy that way? Oh, I'm sorry that your phone is messing up. All right. I'm just going to get straight to it and start sorting these in groups. So I have 2 of this color. Oops, I bumped the camera. Take the cover off. Or maybe that's the way we'll do it. Just put them in stacks of the same. So I figured this was going to be kind of a not boring task, but a task that wouldn't be the most exciting. Another word for boring. And I could do an acceptable job of keeping up with chat, but I'm still uncomfortable with doing the lives. That's why I'm still impromptu. Oh, good. I'm glad that you're planning your holiday cards now because my daughter is doing the same and I'm doing the same, and I was thinking, well, maybe we're just early birds. All right, so this, aren't these adorable? Oh my goodness. So I guess my first task is to choose which side, if I was making the cards, I would prefer. Because in this case, this would just be a card face. But in this case, these could be things people could fussy cut out. Doesn't this just make you want to do Christmas clusters? Oh my gosh, that's adorable. Hi Teresa, how are you? The fabulous artist Teresa. I was watching Kathy's video on her road trip. And on her video, she was talking about how a book she was going through that was a paper pad, that it had images like you do. And I thought that was adorable. And she was right. They do look like some of your images. All right, so are you guys with me that you'd rather fussy cut out these images if you were making Christmas cards than use this side? All right, the other thing I'm going to add in the kits, which won't be in the little cute little envelopes, is they have mistletoe and holly napkins that I picked up at Tuesday morning. Good price too, $2 for 20, that's not bad. And I figure I'll add one of these to each of the kits, and I'm going to have leftovers, which is good. Before I automatically send these kits to the Hartists, okay, so this is going to be detail. I have a detail pile over here. Let's just pretend I didn't set that way down there. Oh my goodness, and it's another option between detail and adorable. Oh, that's going to be hard. We'll see how many detail things I have versus adorable. Oh, look at that. They have the same thing 4 times and backwards. Again, that must be why it's in Tuesday morning, but that's interesting. Huh. Wonder if we can use that to our advantage, and the card faces which I'm imagining that these cards are, let me see, what size do we have for the cards today? I just set aside the ones that were open. I did. All right, 5.5 by 4 1/4. So that means that the card faces should be 5 1/4 by 4 inches. Okay. Which means I can easily fit 1, 2, 3, 4 and have lovely leftovers to put into the kits. And I know these card bases are already pretty, so people can choose. I'll do a couple of samples, so I'll save myself some back to do samples in the videos. I'm sad to lose Santa. I mean, look how good Santa looks right there. And he's just one hoe, so I don't know. That's probably not appropriate. That's a good idea, some of both sides. I like to give them the choice. Maybe what I'll do is just give them, I have a lot of this one. Okay. So this will be my next stack. Oops, I didn't stack that one right. We'll come back to that. Hi, Mary Jane. Mary Jane, all I'm doing today is, how come I don't feel like I'm at the same end? Oh, because I started back here. Brain's not working, couldn't think at the same time. So all I'm doing today is I'm preparing card kits, and I figured it was kind of a simple task to prepare the card kits. How come they don't seem to be the same though? That's so weird. Am I just losing it? I think I'm losing it. These are all the same covers. But somehow I've gone through 2 paper pads. That's odd. I guess I'll figure it out. Anyway, so I was thinking that since it's not overly challenging on the mind, I could do a live, sit and chat with you guys while I'm making these kits. I have some mailing I have to get off today. Okay, yeah, that's gonna work. But I'll get it off after I start preparing the kits. Okay, and I'll sit Mr. Ho 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 down there for later. In a way, I feel like I'm showing you my Tuesday morning haul. But a whole bunch of these boxed cards that are identical. I'll finish off, show you everything I got. I got a magnifying glass because there's some jewelry stuff that has small things on it, and I just wanted to see what they are. And so I'm going to put this in with the jewelry. I don't remember what else I got. The napkins, the paper, and the glue dots. Yeah, I guess that's all I got. Which doesn't sound like much, but somehow that ended up $100. And I think that's the most I've spent there in a long time, because I don't usually spend $100 at Tuesday morning. It normally comes out a little less expensive than that. And you know what I just realized? I mispronounced your name. It's Fee-Luke, not Fay-Luke. Okay, dots and dots. See, again, it's the same thing on both sides. I think these are just misprints. There's straight up misprints. Not that the images are bad, it's just not the same thing in each one of the paper packs. If that makes any sense. But it's fine for me because they have enough similar pages. Or maybe I'm just losing it. That's what we'll go with. I'm just losing it. Hi Janet, how are you doing today? Okay. It's Christmas in June before. Wait, it is July. Oh, smacks. What happened to June? I think June's gone. Oh, see, look, I wasn't kidding. This is. Oh, I am kidding. Okay, they are the same. I do have an even number. Now I get it. All that time I was thinking they made a mistake, but no, I made a mistake. I should just assume that it's probably me making that mistake. Would make more sense. Hold on, reaching way down. Gosh, this paper's gorgeous. Love it. Oh, that's interesting. Look, there's a dark line right there on the 5 cents. But it's not on the other papers. It's one of the interesting things when you run across the same pages over and over, right? All right. So if I send in these kits, oh, and I wanted to show you this. So this is my stash from last year of all my Christmas stuff. And some of it I'm going to be using, and I'm not going to take it all out. Some of it I'm going to be using to make a Christmas journal. And the rest I'll be using to make the Christmas card embellishments. Or some kind of an embellishment kit. Oh my gosh, did you see the mistake I made where I really thought I bought crocodile, and then instead of actually buying crocodile, I bought cowhide leather that was stamped to look like crocodile. So someone corrected me. I went back to my original purchase, and then in the finest print down at the bottom, it said, even though it said crocodile everywhere else. Just shows you how silly I am, I guess. Oh no, I do not wish it was Christmas. Janet, I do not make a specific amount each time. Sometimes my amount is based on how many I'm able to buy. So when I'm making a bunch of kits that are the same, which for card kits, it's a whole lot easier for me to make them the same than it is to make them different, because the layouts or the coordinating papers, it's easier to make in clusters. So my quantity depends on what's available at the time in paper packs. Now I'm going to be looking for this Santa in these packs. And I have another one of these. Am I really not able to function that much today? Alright. At least I can recognize it. Alright, now we're looking for Mr. And I have another one of these. Okay, maybe it's not me. But I think, oh, by the way, I will create the kits before I hold the class, because then it allows me to say how many people can be in the class. Although I do have to limit myself in classes that are local and in person because I don't do a good job with a big classroom of being able to pay attention to all, and somebody may feel left out, and I never want that to happen. And so I tend to hold smaller groups. But with those, I thought that I had an, oh, look at that, there's another one of these. I suppose this is kind of boring for you guys. I know, Sue, isn't it exciting that I have words today? It's such a rare occasion. I think ever since I saw Elizabeth, I have more words in my brain. She sparked the words. Okay. That's good. And this one still feels thick, so let me see. What am I forgetting in here? Let's see, now I know for sure these pads are different, because this has only a few pages and that has a lot. Okay. So how many of you guys are already thinking about your Christmas cards for this year? You know, Lizzie was so funny last night. I was watching her in a live with Dai, and oh my gosh, she had me laughing. She was working on dots, and when she was working on the dots, she was making these jokes and being sassy, and sassy Lizzie is just adorable, Lizzie. There you go. I suppose I just like sassy. Maybe that's just a quirky part of my own personality. That Santa's just so adorable. So in making these kits, I'm definitely... Are you guys still here? Sorry about that. I got a phone call and I use my phone, and one of these days I'll be some kind of a professional because I'm still using my phone. I did just about 15 minutes ago order a microphone because I've had a lot of people say that it's hard to hear me. And even when they turn the volume all the way up. And usually I use headphones, so I don't have that challenge. But I also have wicked good hearing that offsets some of my wicked bad things, I suppose. But anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. You were sleeping while in chat. That's great. Can you imagine those people who do the all-nighters while doing crafts? If they fell asleep while doing an all-nighter and, you know, just for hours you got to catch them snoring? That would be funny. I did hear once that someone was doing a live chat and then forgot to turn it off. And when they forgot to turn it off, they just started up in a phone call, and everybody got to hear a portion of their phone call. All right. I'm organizing, so I got to be thinking. That's why you see the steam coming out on the screen. Okay, there we go. And none of these should be less than 4. But I do think this will make a lot of kits. And I'm glad this one has a lot because it's such a simple and easy back. And beautiful journaling space. Oh, journaling space. You'd think I was making a junk journal. All right, let's pull off these beautiful red polka dots. And this is definitely card backing. Red polka dots on this side. And let's see if I have any more. Oops. Oh, feel like I'm getting dizzy looking at the polka dots. Okay. Ah. So on my to-do list today, I have some pasties to mail out, which is so funny. I mean, this challenge is so cracking me up. And just in case you guys wonder where that came from, Shelly at Crafting Mamas. I don't even know who truly started it in the... Hi, Tracy. I don't know who truly started it in the chat, but somebody started some kind of funny associated with pasties. And I really don't even know how a conversation like that can get started. And then it continued on, and some other people, we just had us rolling and laughing. And so there's another individual with a YouTube channel. I won't mention her because she's so modest on her channel and hysterical in Shelly's chat at Crafting Mamas. But she basically said that she was going to do something with it. And I said, well, if you don't do something with it, I'm going to turn it into a challenge because it just brought so much laughter. And I recognize that it's truly not the most professional thing for a foundation to be running a challenge like that. You know, the fun thing about art is art can be racy sometimes, and art can be funny sometimes. And if you go back and you look at artists of our past, you know, they were definitely pushing the envelope with the stuff they showed. It'd be what we would consider R-rated, and in some cases X-rated. Why do I feel like I need to pull this out again? And don't worry, I'll never go X-rated. We need to keep the pasty thing PG. But based on the laughs so far and some of the messages I've gotten in private messaging, as long as it's bringing smiles and laughs, then it's the right kind of challenge. And you do not have to buy the pasties from me. I just recorded a video right before I went live where I'm describing, Jane Sasselos, I won't even say someone, Jane Sasselos already submitted 2 pair of pasties that I've received in the mail for the challenge. She used her own pasties, but you can actually use, let me see if I have one here. I know I do, but that's okay. This is, oh, here they are. I knew I had them here somewhere. So here's all you need to do for the pasty challenge. I even have the rules out here somewhere. So when you submit them to me by mail is how you can be entered into the contest. Whereas if you don't submit it by mail and you just talk about it, then you're in the challenge. But you submit a pair of pasties that you decorate however you want to decorate it. In order to enter into the contest, your pasty has to be no bigger than 3 inches wide. And if you're a smidgen over 3 inches wide, that's fine. It doesn't even have to be a real pasty. You can do this on a piece of paper. It's just to have the real pasty makes you laugh and it's fun. And Jane, when she did hers, she used the sticky side of the pasty to attach all the things, and this was the side showing on the back side, so you can actually do it that way too. This part right here is not sticky, this part is. You don't have to worry about any of it being sticky, because when I do put them up for auction, I'm not going to be peeling the sticky off of anyone who uses a real pasty. And so if you want to make it similar to the flower petal style, then the circle in the middle is about 1 inch, and so you can use a circle punch that's about 1 inch, or you can hand draw a circle that's about 1 inch, and then rough out a flower shape. Or if you're really nervous about roughing out that flower shape, then you can make it a big circle. But for those of you who are here in the live, you're going to get a sneak peek at a video that I'm going to drop later. Of Jane's pasties that she sent. And so you can see that the end product on the pasty, so here's her pasty on the back side, The end product on the pasty, this is Sunny and Cher, by the way, is way bigger than 2 inches by 3 inches, and that's fine. Yeah, a water bottle cap is about 1 inch, but your end amount needs to be bigger than that. I mean, for the current movement that people are doing with the artist trading coins, you could almost imagine your pasty being similar to an artist trading coin. And you can be completely creative on how big that ends up being on the front, right? Just make sure it's not so big that we can't capture it on camera and it's too expensive to mail in the auction, because remember, I'm going to be covering the postage of mailing all the auction winnings for these pasties, because I want that part to be inexpensive and fun and people not worried about what the mailing cost is. That way it's fair for all the people in the contest. Okay. There is a pattern that currently exists. If you send me an email, and I'll put the email down later in the description below. If you send me an email at help@disabledartist.org, then I'll send you the template that Lynn at Glazerbug Dolls and More that she sent. But you can even see that her pasties are identical in size that Jane sent. The pasties in my Etsy shop are a little bit cheaper than what you get them on Amazon, because I bought them in bulk just in case people wanted to work with the real ones. And I ship out 4 pasties for $2.60. And that's because that's just the 4 pasties in an envelope. I attach the rules in the envelope, and then I shouldn't say attach. I fold the rules around them in the envelope so you know what the rules are. But the video I list later will also have the rules. I think I have the rules one other place. Oh, but not at my fingertips. I'm trying to think of what the rules are, but in order to be entered, she had bigger hair. Oh my gosh, what am I missing in chat? Pasties are mailed to me before August 19th because the auction is on August 20th. If you mail them to me before August 15th, then I will share them on a video. That gives me time to put them up on video and do some editing so people can know in advance what the pasties are that are coming up. And any pasties that arrive in my mailbox between August 15th and August 19th, those will still go into the auction, but they'll be seen for the first time during the auction. And the winner of the contest of the $50, which will be a gift card to, or a gift certificate to Amazon, because then I can just email it to you, or if you'd prefer a Visa card or something like that, then I will mail out a $50 Visa card to your home address. So part of the rules is to make sure I either have your email or your address if you're the winner. Hi Debbie, how are you? Know, I'm sorry that I always do the impromptu lives. It's just my husband is golfing today, and I know that he's not going to be calling me and interrupting me, although that other phone call just now was from a local theater. So I'll have to call them back in hopes that everything goes good there, because I asked them for the vinyls that they use to present the upcoming plays that they have. My husband loves going to the theater. Okay, so back to this. Let me check chat for a second. Got my toy here, and I'm going to check it really quick to see if I missed anything big. Yes, I totally agree with you, Kieran. My favorite art is the one that pushes boundaries. Kieran, I'm afraid to ask, what are merkins? I think I answered already. The cost of the pasties are $1 a pair plus a stamp. You do not have to purchase pasties in order to be entered into the challenge or the contest. All right, we're good. I think I'm all caught up. And if I miss anything, please just put your comments in caps. I don't think I have to do a whole lot of thinking for the next few, because now my stacks of paper are getting smaller and it's easier. And then we're just, for those of you who joined late, all I'm doing is preparing kits for Christmas card kits. Oh gosh, these are so cool. Are these the same on the back side? Yes. Okay, so now bit different, but it makes my job a whole lot easier to color coordinate if I buy a bunch of things that are already in the same family. I have these, and I don't remember pulling these aside before. So yeah, these paper packs are supposed to be identical, and they're not identical. Oh my gosh, but these are so cute. If you want to know what the paper pack is, and you joined late, I got it from Tuesday morning. Let me see if... Stack this... Oops, sorry for the noise, people. And that's just the white paper. Here we go. $5.99 for the pack. And yeah, I know it's a lot, but the color pattern really goes well with the Christmas cards I made last year, and I thought I could use some of the same embellishments from last year. I gave away a lot of my extra stuff and supplies from the Christmas card making, so I don't know how many embellishments I have left over from last year, but I'll be able to make kits pretty easily out of this. And it came out of my own pocket, don't worry, so it doesn't come from any foundation funds, because frankly, oh, and what's funny is on the back side of this paper pad, they had the Halloween kind of stuff. I don't know why I cannot say Halloween without saying Halloween-y. But yeah, that's the paper pad. Vintage Christmas by Authentique. How are you doing, Carla? You know, some of you people, I see you all the time because of our lovely live chats everywhere. And I really enjoy the people who have mastered lives. What am I doing here? There we go. They can talk and they can do things at the same time, and that really takes skill. That takes some serious talent. Oh, is it really cheap compared to, you know, it's double-sided paper. It's very thick and it's beautiful paper. And yeah, there are less expensive paper pads, but there's not a lot of time in my life these days. And so Tuesday morning is right next to a place I was at. And so I was able to stop in real quick, and when I came across their inexpensive cards, which this is a deal. $5.99 for 40 sets of cards. That's a deal. So I bought like 6 packs of these, I think. That way I have plenty, and they can cross over various holidays or card making reasons, and I can mail them out pretty easily. So now I have a question for you guys. You get to, since we're packing the kits together, these are now stacked by type. Because I want to mail the kits in something cute. And I'm really hoping I'm going to be able to do that. We'll see how that works out. But because I want to mail it like people do pocket letters. Just like this. Just folded properly once the paper's in there. am going to have 4 by 6 inch openings, but my card is, wow, 18 to 25 francs there. I should find out what a flat rate international box is for you and have a little conversation about shipping them to you. You can see my cards sit a little taller, which is no big deal. But should I just cut all my paper to 4 by 6 to fit inside, or should I cut them finished size to where people don't even have to trim off the frame? Does that make sense? Because then they can choose, okay, this is going to be, yeah, see, I'm really thinking that's how I should do this. So if I cut all these to 4 by 6, one, it's less work on my part to do the thinking. Okay, so the finished, see, I'm thinking, here's the only reason why I was thinking finished. Some of these people may be brand new to card making. And if they're brand new to card making, yes, they don't have all the tools we have the luxury of having. And they'll be worried about their card not being exactly the right size. And even if they choose to tear it, like I love that look of torn paper, if you guys haven't already noticed that. Even if they choose to tear it, it'll still have that nice bottom frame around the edges. Okay, done. We'll lose a ½ inch on each side, and so this will be 5 by, oh, don't be mean to me. What did I say that was? 4 1/4, so 3 3/4 by 5. I gotta write that down because you guys know I am a forgetful person. You wanna know something? I already forgot. So I need a scrap piece of paper. Oh look, these are my pasty rules. I was shooting a video earlier, but I'll include, I have a video where I go through what the pasty rules are, and I share Jane's, both pair. I didn't want to spoil the fun, but I shared Jane's both pair of the pasties that she submitted. But I can write on the back of my own card here. Oh, that's right, it was 5 inches by 3 3/4. Okay. And so in each of these card kits, I'll have 4 card faces that are available to them, 4 cards, 4 small pieces that are 4 inches by 3 inches. That way they can just apply the small piece and then have something that goes as a banner or something else. And so then I'll add a little envelope or just loose pieces. Yeah, so making 4 cards is a lot, so yeah, that'll be the plan. So let's see which one should be the card faces. Gosh, I just love this one. So let's put this aside. And then they can choose which side they want to use too. That I just love almost too much. These ones I don't have as many of. So maybe these are just going to be different in different kits. I get you. There's so much. Oh, and for those of you from earlier, I also got these at Tuesday morning. It's 20 in a pack. They're small little napkins, and I'll include 1 napkin in with each kit too. I don't know how many kits I'm going to have, but right now, based on the number of Hartists I have, these might all just go to Hartists as, well, maybe I'll ask them, do you want, yeah, let's do that. I'll ask every one of the Hartists for Christmas in July, do you want the kit for Christmas cards, or do you want a different kind of pack? So with that said, let me see how many I have on these big sets. 3, 4, 5. How is that possible? 4 paper packs, and I have 6 of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that's just goofy. But this one's clearly a back on either side. And my size is 5 inches by 3 1/4. And I have like 80 of these, so I'm going to be using them for way more than just the Christmas packs. And these companies do such a fabulous job on, oh, this one didn't. Usually you get something pretty on the top banner. Not so much on this one. So, let me see if, I'm sorry it's not all on screen, but it's one Wonkin paper cutter. And I'm out of coffee. Look at that. It's not a sad thing when you look in a cup. It's how you know I drink some seriously tar-like coffee. So, give me 2 seconds because I am freaking dying of thirst. To offset my tar-like coffee, I'm having coconut water. What's copies? Crap, did I mess something up? Copies care. You're yelling at me, Carla. Why are you yelling at me? No, I'm just kidding. All right, so let's do the 12 inches. And 5 inches is easy to do from that. So we have 7. And then 3 3/4 is still too big to mess with the 7, so we'll go down to 5. That leaves me a hand strip. And when you guys ask me where are you going to come up with your embellishments, these strips and bits and bobs are how I make my own embellishment kits. And by the way, all of these strips and bits and bobs make amazing clusters. That's my cluster video that I did with the Christmas. Did I do that with Christmas paper on a video? I don't remember if I did that on video or off video. But essentially, my easiest clusters were doing them with, I have to do math. There we go. My easiest clusters were the ones doing them with the Christmas kits because they were already coordinated, and I guess it's less thinking, but they were planned coordination and it felt good. So I think in these kits I'm going to include some buttons and some lace as well. Does that just sounds good? Sounds like something I want to do. And if you guys want to do me a favor, let me know some other stuff that you use in your Christmas cards that you think, what am I doing? Right here. What does that say? You did one, okay, so I did one with Christmas and one with normal. Yeah, the ones I did with Christmas, can you believe I'm already completely out of my clusters? I have to make some more. Because I enjoyed including clusters in with when people would purchase something from me as a thank you. I think officially this is my very first time of being able to chat and craft at the same time. Oh, so picking it up by the railing will get it. Oh man, it's probably already out of line then. I bought this one because it's a self-sharpener. And wherever I think to, certainly not my conveniences, isn't that sad? But wherever I think to reduce waste into the landfills, that's one of those things. And yeah, this cost probably more than I should have spent on it. I got it at Michael's with one of those 50% off coupons on one of those 50% off days. That is the first time I had a comment that said held for review. That was interesting. I wonder why it was marked as hold for review. Oh, the little Christmas picture. You know what, Sue? I won't make copies because I'm afraid of copyright infringement. As a company, I don't want to make any mistakes at all for any reason that we get bumped from being nonprofit or we get withheld from doing anything. So I don't make copies of anything. 7. And this is going to give me the number of kits that I'm going to make, by the way. So we'll find out in just a minute how many kits based on this count. And if I have more cluster bumpkin things. So people still question what clusters are. Clusters are not defined in the dictionary the way we crafters define them. Essentially, what they are for me, if I was to define them, it's a group of items that can be any number greater than a few that you gather together and you put that group of items as one embellishment. Some people take longer to make them than other people. I have to do math in it a little bit. So some people, I personally did my clusters, and I don't have one as an example, but I personally did my clusters in odd numbers. You can do them as a cluster of 3 items, 5 items, 7 items, 9 items, all in one group. And then from my perspective, it can all be stapled at one point. But when I received clusters in the swap, some had multiple staples. Some used glue, and so it's just a collage of items that are stacked, not layered and separate, stacked together. Oh, thank you, Mary Jane. No glitter, it lasts for years. Oh, white, you did one. Okay. One, I'm reading my chat, so I can't think and read at the same time. Obviously, my thinking is reading, but yeah, so on these kits, I am doing one sample kit, and in the sample, it'll be what you can do, but as you can see, because it's 2-sided papers, they can use either side as their backing. And I'll do a video as well as take pictures and mail them with the kits. And we'll see how many kits I can make out of these packs. I bet it's going to be good stuff. Ooh, what is a magnetic stapler? That's kind of cool. Staples do make it easier, Carla. Definitely makes it easier if you're using staples to do a cluster. For me, clusters are a type of project therapy because I overthink things. And I use the clusters as a way of reducing how much I overthink. I prepare by putting things that have similar color schemes together. And so that's my prep, and then I just gather things from largest to smallest, varying textures. I like to have some type of a fabric with it, that kind of thing. Wow, I gotta go check out what a magnetic stapler is. That's cool. All right, 3 3/4 by 2 is, brain doesn't want to do it. That would be 6, 7.5, right? 3 3/4 by 2 is 7.5. And then another 3 3, well, let's just do 7.5. 3 3/4 by 2 is 7.5. And then I'm going to have another strip. 3 3/4. So if you guys aren't math people, you can do it this way too. So you can do your I know what it is by 2. Oh, she won't share the big stapler. I only have a tiny stapler myself. It's really tiny. When I downsized, I even got rid of my big stapler and industrial sized corner rounder and all that stuff when we moved to the boat. Carla, I'm right there with you. I overthink everything. Do you guys want a sneak peek at something I'm currently overthinking and worried about? And I haven't even released the video yet because everything of mine is always unfinished. I have a colored stapler and colored staples from, I think it's Target. 3 3/4. All right, I'm going to show you a sneak peek. There's no laughing allowed. It's official. I'm not a great artist, and this is going to be one of your proofs of this. But I have another layer to go on top of this. This is, the only thing wet right now is the green. So first I did a background of a bunch of different layers of purple. And this is the real album, still record inside. Probably should have removed it, but didn't. This is the real album of Purple Rain Prince. And I love Prince, love his music, and so that's a spoon, by the way. Oh, my screen froze. I don't know if you guys can see this. All right, is anybody else there? I'm so sorry about that. Let me see if I've got you all on screen. Is that better? I got another phone call, but this time it didn't even ring and give me the warning. Okay, so sorry about that. I get calls all the time, and I probably shouldn't do lives anymore because I'm getting more and more calls. Okay, so here's what I have is a print. I don't know what you saw or didn't see, but this is Prince, Purple Rain, the real record. And actually, I kind of want to draw that on there. That would be kind of fun. I don't know what he was thinking with the back of this cover. It's impossible to read it too. And then his record that's on the inside is right here. I'm not going to worry too much that I'm not a great artist. Oh, I can't set this down there. I'll have to put that back in a minute. I'm getting better. My concept on this one was I wanted it to feel like, when I think of big, long, dangling raindrop type things, I was thinking of wisteria. And so it looks horrible on camera. It's getting better. What I'm looking to do is fill these bits in before I put this on camera. I have a part 1 and a part 2 because I decided at the end of part 1 I really should finish this and not leave it unfinished. But I used everything from pink to a dark plum with shades of purple in between and multiple layers. You can see those layers right there. And I need to get better at doing thin. This is actually the music from Purple Rain, just cut the spoon, I don't know exactly what I was thinking, but I painted the spoon on there. I forget what my thought process was. And yeah, it'll be okay. It's a work in process. And that's my share for now. And I still left the lady because I liked her. And I'm probably gonna highlight in an orangey yellow instead of a white, and or maybe I'll do the orangey yellow and the white. I'll figure it out. I'm not done. Still thinking. That's work in progress. I would say it looked better before I added the green stems, but there's no way for me to add the flowers on top of the green stems, the wisteria petals, without adding the green in the back. It just wouldn't look right. Could eat Prince with his, yeah. I have his foot sitting on it. Oh man, I really don't know where my head was. I mean, isn't that ridiculous? It's like spoon with a foamy something on the substance, and then I painted the spoon purple, and got purple on the white substance, which made me mad, by the way. And I didn't put matte medium on it, so I couldn't take it off. What was the length I had? I know, I can't stop singing Purple Rain either. It's in my head non-stop. It just non-stop. Okay. 11 1/4. So my numbers are 11 1/4, 7 1/2, 3 3/4. All right, this is the boring part. So you guys see the time that I spend. Again, these are good bits. I'm making these kits. It's so much faster to do them in groups that are the same, because otherwise my making of the kits. Oh, I have another idea. Dagnabbit, I should have thought about that earlier. Maybe I just do all these 11 1/4 because I keep forgetting the measurements. Although, spoon theory. Fibro and many other invisible illnesses, color is purple. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Well, you know what's another thing, and I learned this recently, is I bought a whole bunch of, oh, what is the word? What is that? No, is that right? What is the purple stone that's tumbled, or sometimes comes out looking like beautiful crystals, and you see them opened in geodes? Is it called amethyst? Anyway, that particular stone. 3 3/4. That particular stone, I have a little stack of them, and I was thinking of making those stones into kits. And I was talking with, who was I talking with? I was talking with someone fabulous. I don't remember who I was talking with. Oh, Lynn. I was talking with Lynn, Glazerbug Dolls and More. That Lynn, and Lynn Wright, which you also see her there in chats. And she told me that amethyst is a healing stone. So instead of, you know, they're kind of small to do for wire wrapping, and there's no holes. But I thought it might be fun to come up with a project for those ones. Gosh, I hope I did that right. I feel like this should be called The Ramblings today. Bye, Sue. You take care. But back to the purple spoon therapy. Spoon theory. That's so funny. Back to the purple. Maybe it. What am I doing here? Can't think and cut. Maybe that's why Purple Rain was my sample. The whole reason I even did this album is because I'm trying to work up the nerve to work in my Abandoned Places book. I know that it's a silly thing to think about, but I paint thick. I don't know if you could see that on that image, but you'll see that when I get done and I do a real close-up share, I guess. But I paint really, really thick. Because I used to do oils and I love the thickness of it. I suppose you can do oils nice and thin, but no, I don't do that. I used to just do them really, I'd even add things like sand from Sedona to my work. And the sad thing, then I'd throw it away. Isn't that horrible? You've no idea how many things I've thrown away over the years. This Prince thing would have already been in the trash because I just can't accept my work. And part of doing this YouTube, which is a little bit therapeutic in a way, for myself and accepting my art more, is it's out there. And once it's posted, it's not like I can throw it away. It's still there. I mean, I could delete the videos, but it's still out there. And so I need to get better at just accepting that my art is what it is and be happy with it. We should all get better at calling ourselves artists. Bead supplies, yes. I have 4 different categories where the donations are super, super useful. Category 1 is paper crafting. Category 2 is painting, which includes mixed media, so those two overlap a lot. Category number 3 is jewelry making. So anything in those 3 categories, super useful. Category 4, I have to admit to you all, and openly admit to you all, I don't really spend any time on category 4, which is photography. It's all kind of reduced itself to those 3 categories. And I think that's okay. It's just, I don't know how to do a better job of photography. For a while I was pondering ideas on capturing the screenshot of the images, and I'm just so busy with this other stuff, and the kits determine what I'm going to make, so I just start thinking about the next kit, and I'm not thinking about photography hardly at all. So yes, jewelry supplies, definitely. One of the things that I will also admit is I am not great at any one craft. Oh my goodness, what do I keep doing here? Hold on. The amethyst chips can get with holes. Oh, I see, Karen. Okay, well, I was reading one and then reading another one. Yes, the beading supplies would be great. And then I forgot to tell you guys my idea. So, because my kits vary from person to person, it would not be surprising to me if some person said to me, I really don't want to do a card kit, I'd rather do mixed media, or art, or a junk journal kit, things like that. I get those. And I'm never offended if somebody has a preference for one kind of a kit or another. I think it's awesome that there's variety. But one of the things I was thinking is 2 of my daughters, which are girly girls, oh, they'd be mad if they saw this video and they knew I called them girly girls. Okay, they're not girly girls, but 2 of them get makeup kits. And it's for $10 a month, and they basically subscribe to the makeup kit. And they don't know what they're going to get. Hold on. So I was thinking, in the spirit of buy one, give one, if I did $10 kits and kept the weight of the package to where my shipping was only $3.50, then it might be kind of fun to where and that way, if you're a artist and here, let me finish defining out what I'm thinking. So here's what I'm thinking. Imagine this. I make these kits for artists and for sale. That way, the artist can still be a secret that they're receiving kits for free because there's other people buying the same kit. And so I make a whole bunch of kits, and I have subscribers. We can just call it like my daughter's subscribed to a makeup box. And then every month, I already have a Patreon account. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I already have a Patreon account. And then every month, for anyone who's subscribed to whatever the number is, that's so funny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Well, let's see how many we have. We have 10, 20, 36 kits. All right, that's pretty good. I'm going to be able to make 36 kits that are the same based on this number. And then it'll include clusters and other things. I think $10 would be too much for these card kits. Oh no, did it go freeze again? Ugh. Okay, that time it was my phone saying that my battery is low, so I guess I'm at the end. So my last thought is I can make 36 kits out of this. So what if, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this because I might have a lot who want to do the Christmas kits. If I made it possible to be a subscriber and I mail you random kits, and you sign up for jewelry kits or, you know, just like the artists sign up for other kinds of kits. And that will help me fund on a continuous and sustainable basis the shipping as the shipping is increasing instead of having once in a blue moon auctions. And then you also get something out of it. One, you're giving kits to other people. And two, well, I shouldn't say giving kits. You're funding the shipping of the kits to the artists, and two, you also receive a kit similar to what artists make. And the other thing that really enables, and I know this is going to be a silly one, but it'll allow, if someone is a artist and receives kits for free, then they don't have to keep that hidden if it's been shown on the screen, because other people would have also bought the kits, and so no one will know who's buying them and who's getting for free. And I like that level of secrecy. You know, it's like little kids when they get a free lunch. You don't want it to be obvious who the ones are getting a free lunch, right? So I'm going to let you guys all ponder the idea of maybe doing that, but it allows us to keep growing at a sustainable rate. I at one point would prefer, I'm now feeling this myself because I can control my time better, I would prefer to have the kits of mixed media, paper crafting, and jewelry making kits for people to just let me know however many days in advance before I ship the kits out, and have a regular rotation. All my kits go out on the 15th, or all my kits go out on the 1st, and that gives me more time. And then if they're local, I drop all the kits off on the 20th or something like that, and that gives me the time to prepare in between, so I don't feel like I'm overwhelmed every single day. Anyway, hope that idea seems to make sense to you guys. And we'll do $10 a month subscriptions, and then you let me know if those subscriptions, and we'll have those discussions in the Patreon, but you guys let me know if those subscriptions make sense, and that'll be a sustainable way of funding the cost of the shipping. As it stands right now, I'm funding the cost of the stupid office out of my regular pocket, but I'm okay with that. because the foundation is, not to be funny, but you know, it's my vision, it's my responsibility. So just because Florida forces me to do that, which is stupid, it's not anybody else's responsibility to cover the cost of the office. But I feel like it's awesome for people to be able to help and cover the cost of the shipping for the artists. And then the donations are a lot of the materials we're able to send out. Anyway, with all that said, I'm gonna go ahead and log off. And you know, it's amazing how little work I actually get done while doing a live. But I just felt like doing it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And on the what am I even talking about? I forget what I was gonna say, but you can tell when I'm done talking because I can't keep my head straight. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys all have a fabulous day. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.